Now, though, we're going to have a little bit of fun and we're going to have a good time just hitting pause for a moment so that we can reflect on life in our moments, memories, and more family chat. We love this segment. And today, my questions are all about what our friends have taught us. I am so close. My friends kind of help to bring me up, really. They're like my tribe and my family. I absolutely love them. I'm going to ask some questions because I think it's worth us thinking about this because time is finite and we don't have forever with our friends, and we want to appreciate that so much more. So right now in 2022, what is the favorite way, and I know this is big in your life, so what is the favorite way that you spend time with your friends, and has this changed in the last 5 years?
So, my friends are very important to me. You know, being alone in Cape Town, away from my immediate family, my cousins are like my sisters, and we have, I mean, we do weekly dinners, me and the girls. We have our girls' night every Wednesday night, and we take turns hosting. And that for me is very special because you get to just catch up, have your dinner, go home, and like, because our weeks get so busy. So that for me has been so special and something we implemented last year. And then we also do going away once every 2 months, where we just book a place, go away for the weekend, because life gets busy. And if you don't schedule it 2 months in advance,
exactly.
you never get to it.
You've got that to look forward to. I know you are one of the most social beings I know, and you couldn't even remember one friend's name the last time we went through this exercise. Can you remember who your friends are now?
Man, come on, don't put me on.
I know you've got very close relationships. Do you make the time for it now, or is it one of those things where you wish you were doing more?
I think I realized very much earlier on in the year that I wasn't making enough time, or that we all just weren't making enough time. Simply because there isn't enough time, right? There's so much going on. But I think that when you intentionally and deliberately get into it and you make the time, you find that there are some really meaningful connections you can make, and you can nurture friendships without having to even be physically there. My best friends all live in Joburg. And so that means it's not practical to go there every weekend necessarily, but we chat on the phone for hours. And I find that we know what's going on in each other's lives all the time, because I know what happened yesterday and I'm going to be asking about it tomorrow. And you don't feel the distance suddenly anymore. You are so much closer, and I love that we've been able to do that.
It's a good reminder of who you are, the people that have kind of helped to shape you. It's good to remind you of the kind of metal that you're made of.
That's it.
Also throws some interesting life lessons at us. Friendship is one of the learning curves of life. What are some of the toughest lessons that you've learned, Tabiso, while Zoe eats her rusk? Through friendship, what are some of the toughest lessons that friendship has taught you?
One of the toughest lessons, I think, is a recent one. It's got to do with knowing that your friends aren't immune from making mistakes. Sometimes I think we put an unreasonable amount of expectation on friends and expect them to be these super women and super men who just cannot ever do you wrong. But sometimes your friends can can falter and can go wrong, and those are the toughest lessons. Finding that somebody that I suppose is the closest to you, can do you wrong, and being able to forgive.
We're all human.
And being able to forgive and see them as family, that you don't just like discard them from that is a lesson, huge lesson.
Then they also remind us of how valuable they are by doing these selfless acts when we just need it. If I think of how my friends have been over the last few months with, my best mate Greg getting to the wedding, what it took to just get there, but all of them, how they circled the wagons around me when I needed it, when I needed the help, they were there for me. Or have there been those moments, or one that stands out for you, Zoe, where a friend just did something so selfless, they just reminded you of how special friendship really is?
Actually, quite recently, because some of my great friends, we live in the same building, and they've got my spare key. And I remember I wasn't feeling well, and I was at work, and they just popped me a message like, "Oh, we just left you some homemade soup in the fridge." How special! So that for me was
I hope my friends are listening, eh?
But like, you get caught up at work or something, and then you can call on them to be like, "Do you mind just popping over to my place and just feeding the cats, or just making sure a light's on?" And they have always been willing to do that. So I would also love to add to what Tabiso said when it comes to your friendships. I think something I've also learned recently is you cannot compare where you are at in your life with your friends.
Yeah, for sure.
Because yes, in school, you all go through the similar milestones, but I took a gap year, whereas my friends went to go study study first. So they started earning money while I was still a student.
Yeah.
And some of them got married before I got married. And there's just no way you can compare your chapter X to someone else's chapter Y.
And you learn that. You learn that we are all walking this journey together, but the GPS coordinates are different, right?
No, completely, but you're all headed in the same direction.
Yeah.
I absolutely love my friends, man. I love you guys so much. I'm so blessed, and hopefully you are feeling the same right now. And if you are, take the time to connect with them. And speaking of friendships, this week we want you to tell us what your favorite way to catch up with your friends is. Share your answers with us on the Expresso Facebook or our Twitter page for this one, and then throw in some photos if you want as well. And remember to include that hashtag more than a rusk in your entry, and the best entry will walk away with a cool 2,000 Rand in cash, plus the most delicious OUMA rusks hamper. You can find all those terms and conditions that apply on expressoshow.com. To my friends, good luck.
To friendships.
We do love you.
Yeah. Grab
Coffee.
OUMA, man.
Come on, man. Love you guys. Cheers.
There's more in every dip with OUMA.